Okay, I hope you had some victories, right? Whether you got to the end, whether you have a working program or not, is not the important thing. What's important is that you learned some stuff. You got practice with the spacing. You ran into some bugs and you managed to work through them. You looked back at the code that we have already written. Okay, so let me walk you through it. Number one, we have already accomplished. We have the correct number there as 3. Number two, ask the user for a number. So we'll do guessed number. The variable does not matter. You could use something else, and that's fine. We'll do input. Please guess a number between 1 and 10, and then I'll put the arrow there at the end. Number 3, that was the part where, remember, this is going to come through as a string, even though we need it to be a number. Okay, so let's do guess number as int, and we are going to do the int command. We're going to take guess number and put it inside those parentheses. So this right here, this line, right, will turn whatever this is, whatever they gave us here, into an integer and store it here. The reverse is true, where we can take the correct number and we'll put as string and do just the opposite, call the string command and hand it the correct number like that. Oops, looks like a cut and I meant to copy. There we go. Okay, so that covers 3 and 3b there, where we have both variables. We can use either one we want for our conditional. So number 4 here, this is starting to get into the tricky part. If, right, we've got the word if in there, so hopefully you saw that coming. If the user's number equals the correct number, so that's going to be our double equal sign. So you can grab either one. I'll do the guessed number as an int, double equals the correct number. That is number 4. Okay, we have to have a colon here. For number 5, I'm going to indent that one over because we're inside of our then now, right? Print off, you are awesome, you guessed it. Okay, so that's number 5. We're inside of our if statement. Number 6, if not, okay? This should not be inside, right? This needs to be its own thing where we can have an else statement. You might have done your own if statement, okay? It is okay if you did this. I'm going to do it the other way, but it's okay if you did this, right? If the guessed number is an integer is not equal to the correct number, okay, that's a little redundant because you will have run this and then you will also run this, and these will never both be true. But that is totally okay, because in the beginning stages, right, or I should say anytime I'm working on a new problem, it's always okay to get it working any way that you can, and you can always come back and refine it, make it better later on. Okay, but we've got if this is true, else do this. Okay, what is it? Well, we want to print off, sorry, that is not the number. Okay, number 7, then add to the message what the number was. So I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to move number 7 over, and we're going to drop that in here. Okay, we're going to do print. I'll copy the message that I just wrote. Okay, and now we need to concatenate to the end of it, right? The number, oops, let's do a period. The number was space concatenate, right? Because this is a string right here, right? So we're about to concatenate, not add. We cannot use correct number because it's an integer. We have to cast it. So whether you did it right here, my line 9, correct number as a string, and you can do it like that, okay, that will be just fine. Or you can do it right here. You could do str, right, call the command, give it the parentheses, and then put the correct number. Either one of those is okay because they will do exactly the same thing. Alrighty? So that will print off the correct message. Number 8 was the hard part. That's going backwards a little bit and putting an elif. All right, we have to put the elif above the else because the else is the last thing that will run. That's sort of our catch-all. That means, I tried everything else, couldn't find anything. So I'm going to take 8. I'm going to put it out of order, and I'm sorry if this confused you. That was not the intention. Looks like 6 came with it and should not have. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put here elif. We need parentheses because we need to tell it else if what. Well, there's a couple ways to do this, like everything. If the guessed number as an int plus 1 equals the correct number, we know they are within one number. Okay? Then let's print off our message. We'll print off, you were close. The number was plus, right? So we're concatenating again. And then down here we have, it'll be this exact same thing, just like that. Okay? Looks like I got 2 plus signs in there. All right, so if the number you guessed as an integer is equal to the correct number, we tell you you're awesome. Else, if the number you guessed plus 1 is the correct number, then we print off you were close. The actual number was this. We'll need to have another elif here, and that's going to be guessed number. Instead of plus 1, it will be minus 1, because we're wanting to know if the number was within 1, so that would be either side. So if the number you guessed minus 1 is equal to the correct number, then we can do the exact same thing here. Print off you were close, and then again cast the correct number over. All right? If all else fails, we hit that else and we say, sorry, that is not the correct number. The number was. So let's go give this a try. All right? We're going to do Python 3 against guess a number.py. Okay, please guess a number between 1 and 10. I'm going to guess 7. Sorry, that is not the number. The number was 3. Let's run it again. This time I will guess 4. All right, you were close. The number was 3. We'll guess one more time, and this time we'll guess 3, and it says, you are awesome. You guessed it. Okay? So this is one way of many. We're going to add on to this a couple more things. There are ways to pretty this up. There are ways to make it more efficient, ways to make it more fun, and we will do that as we continue forward. But great job. You are awesome, not because you guessed the right number, but because you are learning Python.